Coming to you today from West Thompson's Piru Gun Club outside of Los Angeles, California. This week, over 275 shooters have come from all points of the globe to compete in what is now known as the fastest pistol competition ever held. In this match, speed is of the essence, and of course, you've got to hit the steel. 1988 features 8 separate pistol stages plus 2 optional shotgun stages. At each stage, the course will be repeated for a total of 5 strings. The best 4 strings will be totaled for a final score. The competitor with the lowest overall time in all 8 matches wins the $5,000 first place check, lots of nice prizes, and the 1-year bragging rights of being the fastest gun in the world. Now think about that. It sounds good, doesn't it? Well, who's it going to be? Rob Latham? He won this event in 1985. Chip McCormick? He won in 1986. Jerry Barnhart, last year's winner. Or how about Rick Castello, the federal agent who shoots very rapidly and hits what he aims at? Well, stay right here, and we'll see the super squad consisting of the top men and women in the tournament get started with stage number 1 of the 1988 Steel Challenge, the Guns and Ammo Roundabout. In this event, the contestant stands in the shooting box facing the targets and upon the start command, draws and engages the plates at 7 and 15 yards. They may be hit in any order except the stop plate at 10 yards, which must be hit last. Failure to hit the stop plate will result in an automatic 30-second run. A 5-second penalty will be added to the shooter's time for any other plate not hit and for a premature start. Up currently on the Guns and Ammo Roundabout stage is Angelo Spagnoli.
Shooter's ready. Stand by. Shooter's ready. Stand by.
Spagnoli is from San Francisco, California, and he has fared well in the Steel Challenge the past several years.
Stand by. Stop plate.
Angelo Spagnoli has a little bit of trouble on that last run with a time of 6.39 seconds. That should be his throwaway run, so he finishes with a time of 10.88 seconds. Up next is the current IPSC World Champion, Rob Latham.
Shooter's ready. Stand by. Shooter's ready. Stand by. Shooter's ready. Stand by. Shooter's ready. Stand by.
Wow, do you see that? Latham kicked it into high gear on that last run, a blazing time of 2.4 seconds. Now that's 5 shots. His total overall time for stage 1 is 10.31 seconds. That puts him in first place for now, but there are a lot of good shooters coming up. Up next is one of the top women shooters in the world today, Roberta Gear from Weirton, West Virginia.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Roberta Gear finishes up with a smooth run in the Guns and Ammo roundabout. Her time is 3.81 seconds for that last run. That gives her a total time of 15.05 seconds. Now, that's a consistent way to start out this three-day tournament. Up next is a guy that I really admire. It's 55-year-old Ken Tapp from Winchester, Kentucky. He is one of the fastest draws around despite a recent injury to his hand.
I stuck a piece of metal into my hand. I had to go, this was last Sunday, a week ago now. I had to go and get some stitches in it. And then I've been babying it. And first day I had to make a sling out of tape and to keep the gun from even touching my hand. And then
Just that left front plate. This one here. Oh, it is? Yeah. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Ken Tapp completes his last run with a smoking time of 2.36 seconds. And don't forget about that injured hand. That gives him a total time of 12.61 seconds. Now, coming up to the line is a real-life revenuer, Rick Castello from Marlboro, Tennessee. Rick is a federal agent for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by. Okay, last run coming up here. Shooters ready. Stand by.
With blazing speed like that, the moonshiners in Tennessee need to be very aware when Rick Castello is on the chase. He shoots a great time of 10.23 seconds and overtakes Rob Latham for first place. Now, here's last year's women's winner, Michelle Griggs. Michelle is an 18-year-old high school senior from San Antonio, Texas, where her classmates are very supportive of her participation in this sport.
Well, I just recently switched schools. I moved from Fredericksburg to San Antonio to a larger school, and my friends are impressed. Right before I left to come here, I had signs all over the hallway, senior hall. Good luck, Michelle. Shoot good. You can do it. And they're real supportive.
Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by.
Michelle starts off her defense of her crown with the fastest time of the women yet, at 12.61 seconds. Now, following last year's women's winner is the defending champion, Jerry Barnhart. Last year was really Jerry's coming of age in the shooting sports with victories in the Steel Challenge, the action event of the Masters, and the USPSA National Championships. Jerry Barnhart starts off with the fastest time of the day, except for one thing. He had a miss during that run, so he gets a 5-second penalty added to his time of 2.2 seconds. He has to make every run count now.
Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by.
I know.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Stand by.
Looks pretty slim for Jerry repeating as champion. His total time of 18.03 seconds all but puts him out of the running. Up next is a shooter who knows how hard it is to repeat as the world speed shooting champion. It's Chip McCormick. After winning in 1986, he returned the next year and finished in 9th place.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by.
Chip McCormick has come out of the gate blazing with a total time of 9.56 seconds, winning the Guns and Ammo Roundabout by a quarter of a second. Following Chip is Jerry Micklick in 2nd place with a revolver. 3rd goes to Michael Cundiff. Danny DeJesus is 4th, and Rick Castello comes in 5th. Robbie Latham was 7th place, Angelo Spagnoli 17th, Ken Tapp and Michelle Griggs tied for 49th. Michelle was also the top woman shooter in this event, and last year's overall winner Jerry Barnhart came in a very disappointing 189th at the Guns and Ammo Roundabout stage. Later in the afternoon on the first day, the Super Squad moved on to the Colt Speed Option event. In this stage, the shooter stands facing the targets and upon the start signal, draws and engages the round plates at 8, 10, and 15 yards. The plate at 25 yards is an optional plate and does not have to be hit, hence the name Speed Option. If the option plate is hit, a bonus of 2 seconds will be deducted from the contestant's time. The bonus will be awarded only once per string and only if all other round targets and the stop plate is hit during that string. The 4 12-inch plates may be hit in any order, but the contestant must engage the stop plate last. Failure to hit the stop plate will result in an automatic 30-second run. A 5-second penalty will be added onto the time for each run with a missed target or premature start. Up first now is Judy Smith from Southern Florida. Judy's been competing for several years, but this is her first year at the Steel Challenge. First-timers are referred to as Tyros and compete for an additional prize above the regular prizes.
Ready. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Judy Smith finishes the Colt Speed Option with a time of 15.62 seconds. Up next is Wanda Micklick from Louisiana. Wanda has been shooting the Steel Challenge for several years.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Now, totaling Wanda's 4 best runs, she finishes with a time of 14.28 seconds. Our next shooter is Sancho Esubio from Los Angeles. Sancho finished 5th last year in the Steel Challenge competition.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Esubio completes the Colt Speed Option with a time of 10.33 seconds. Next up is our leader after one event, Chip McCormick.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Chip comes through with another strong time of 6.53 seconds, which puts him currently in first place. But with our next shooter, first place is never safe. Here's Robbie Latham.
Stand by. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Come on, Rob.
Wow, now that is what the spectators come to see here at the Steel Challenge. Pure speed and pure accuracy. Rob takes over first place and wins the Colt Speed Option event by 0.4 of a second. Doug Caney comes in second. Ted Bonnet is third. J. Michael Plaxco fourth. Chip McCormick is fifth. Sancho Asubio was 63rd. Juan Miklik was 155th. And Judy Smith ended up at 175. So to look at the overall standings after the first day, Chip McCormick is in first place. Robbie Latham second. Third is Michael Cundiff. Doug Koenig is fourth. And J. Michael Plaxco is in fifth. The first stage of the day is the Winchester 5 to go. In this stage, the contestant stands facing the targets and upon the start signal, draws and engages the 10-inch plates in any order. The time will stop when the 12-inch stop plate is hit. As with the stages yesterday, an automatic time of 30 seconds for each string in which the stop plate is not hit. There is also a 5-second penalty for each 10-inch plate missed and for a premature start. This is Stuart Wilson from Laguna Beach, where he is an aerospace engineer. Stuart Wilson sets the pace with a very fast 12.4 seconds. That puts him in first place, and as you will see, will be a hard time to beat. Up next is Tammy Madigan from Sylmar, California, who this year won the California State IPSC match, came in 7th in the USPSA Nationals, and is one of the U.S. Gold Team members for the World Shoot. Tammy and her husband, John, own West Coast Ammo in Sylmar, California.
Stand by. Stand by.
Tammy finishes up with a time of 20.32 seconds. Up next is our current overall leader, Chip McCormick.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Chip is very consistent this week with a time of 13.66 seconds. Coming up next is a shooter that I'm very impressed with. He is Malcolm Johnson from Lakewood, California. He is retired, and this is his 3rd Steel Challenge.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Johnson finishes with a time of 33.50 seconds. Now up to the line is Chip McCormick's shooting partner, David Cupp.
Stand by. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Stand by.
Cupp finishes with a time of 15.03 seconds. Speaking of shooting partners, here's Angelo Spagnoli's partner, Stu Mullins from Petaluma, California. Stu and Angelo own and teach shooting at Firearms Training Institute in Petaluma, California. Shooters in Northern California have a chance to learn from two world-class shooters there. For more information, write or call the Firearms Training Institute at P.O. Box 2239, Petaluma, California 94953. The telephone number is 707-762-8317.
Stand by. Stand by.
Stu Mullins finishes with a time of 14.22 seconds. Coming up to the line is another former Steel Challenge winner, J. Michael Plaxco. He is the only shooter to win the Steel Challenge, the USPSA Nationals, and the Second Chance match. He is a consistent top 10 shooter.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Plaxco finishes with a total time of 14.47 seconds. Now up to the line is two-time Bianchi Cup winner, Brian Enos from Mesa, Arizona.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
With smooth shooting like that, you can see why he finishes in the top of every tournament he enters. Brian wins the Winchester 5 to go stage with a time of 12.29 seconds, edging Stuart Wilson by 0.2 of a second. In third, there's a tie between Sancho Eusebio and Rick Castello. And fifth goes to our buddy Ken Tapp. Rob Latham comes in 9th, Chip McCormick is 10th, Stu Mullins 14th, J. Michael Plaxco 19th, David Cupp 24th, Tammy Madigan comes in at 147th. The weather has decided to team up with the course designers to test the shooter's ability and fortitude at the Taurus outer limits. This will be a tricky stage since they must move between the shooting boxes during this event. Right-handed shooters will always start in the left box, and left-handed shooters will always start in the right box. Upon the signal to start, the competitors will draw and engage the 25 and 40-yard targets on their side of the center line. The shooter will then move to the center box and engage the 25 and 40-yard targets on the other side of the center line, and then engage the stop plate, which is placed at 20 yards. Both feet must be inside the shooting box when the shots are fired. A time of 30 seconds will be assessed if the stop plate is not hit. There will be a 5-second penalty for each premature start, each target not hit, each shot fired without both feet inside the shooting box, and each shot fired on the wrong side. In this stage, the competitors will be shooting only 4 times with the best 3 counting towards the total. The rain doesn't seem to be bothering Rob Latham.
Stand by. Stand by. Get ready. Stand by.
Latham finishes up with a time of 17.62 seconds. This weather has really made the footing very slick for running between the shooting boxes. Up next to brave the elements, Frank Garcia.
Stand by. Stand by. Your last run. Stand by. Clear it out and show clear.
Frank completes the stage with a time of 17.83 seconds. Coming up next, Michelle Griggs.
Stand by. Got it. Stand by. Stand by. Got it. Stand by. Got it.
Last year's winner, Michelle Griggs, slides in with a time of 21.36 seconds. Now, here's last year's men's winner, Jerry Barnhart. Jerry's been struggling since his 2 misses during the first stage. Let's see if he's put that out of his mind and can concentrate on the task at hand, hitting those steel plates in the rain.
Got it. Stand by. Got it. Stand by. Got it. Stand by.
Now, he seems to have come back with a time like that, total of 16.25 seconds. The best time so far, even though he is shooting in the rain. The true Jerry Barnhart comes through. Up next is our current leader, Chip McCormick. Let's see how he does in the rain.
Stand by. Stand by.
Wow, Chip was really able to block out everything except those targets and his front sight. The mark of a true champion. Looking at the final results of the Taurus Outer Limits, Jethro Dionisio finishes first, Chip McCormick second, Ted Bonnet third, Jerry Barnhart fourth, and Doug Koenig fifth. Can anybody catch Chip McCormick? Well, we'll find out after this. The weather that Southern California is so famous for has reappeared on the last day of the regular stages for the 1988 Steel Challenge. This weather should bring out the quick times in the world's best shooters just in time for the fastest stages of this tournament. The Ernie Hill Speed Leather Triple Threat stage is one of the fastest. In this event, the shooter draws and places one shot on each plate at 6 and 8 yards. The stop plate at 10 yards is the last one to be hit. Failure to hit the stop plate will result in an automatic 15-second time. A 5-second penalty will be added to each run with a premature start and each of the first 2 targets not hit. This is Mike Martelin shooting the Ernie Hill Speed Leather Triple Threat stage.
Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready.
You want fast? We've got fast. 4 runs, averaging 1.61 seconds, and that includes the draw. Mike's total is 6.47 seconds. Up next is another fast shooter, John Dixon from Pasadena, Texas. John is a pistol smith and is on the USA Silver team for the World Shoot. Now, you've probably noticed the cast on his right leg. John was recently invited to the IPSC European Championships. After the tournament, John was in London and, of all things, had a tree fall on him. This may have cut his trip short, but as you can see, it hasn't slowed his shooting down.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Dixon has some trouble with that last run, so that will be his throwaway. He finishes with a time of 7.42 seconds. Up next is our favorite G-man, Rick Castello.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Castello completes the Ernie Hill Speed Leather Triple Threat with a total time of 7.14 seconds. Now here's the current leader of the World Speed Shooting Championship, Chip McCormick.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Chip just keeps turning in those fast times, throwing out the last run of 15 seconds. Chip totals up a 6.41 second stage time. Now here's Frank Garcia. Frank has been trying to dig his way out of the hole he fell into with his 236th place finish in the Colt Speed Option event.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
That's the type of shooting that Frank Garcia is capable of. Frank takes over first place with a total time of 6.20 seconds. Coming up is Ken Tapp at the Ernie Hill Speed Leather Triple Threat.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
That hand injury doesn't seem to be bothering him much today, as Ken Tapp comes through with the fastest time yet, a 1.3 second run.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Ken Tapp ends up with a total of 6.23 seconds. That puts him in second place behind Frank Garcia. Now here's Angelo Spagnoli. This is his kind of shooting. Kick it into warp drive and hold on.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Angelo really lets it loose on that stage. His total time is 5.87 seconds. That gives him first place in the Ernie Hill Speed Leather Triple Threat. Second goes to Donnie Chatlin. Third, David Cupp. Fourth, Thomas Mao. And Frank Garcia slipped to fifth place. Ken Tapp came in sixth. Chip McCormick was ninth. Mike Martelin, 13th. Rick Castello, 32nd. And John Dixon, broken leg at all, was 43rd. The times are really picking up today, and this next event will amaze you if you've not seen speed shooting with a shotgun before. This is the hide-and-seek stage of the Mossberg shotgun event. In this stage, the shooter stands facing the targets with the muzzle of the shotgun resting on the table in front of the shooting box. At the start signal, the competitor engages the 4 outside popper targets in any order, then hits the stop popper to end the run. There is a 5-second penalty for each popper left standing. each premature start and for hitting the stop popper before the other plates. The shooter currently shooting the Mossberg hide-and-seek shotgun stage is one of the most influential shooters in the world today. He sits on the board of directors of the United States Practical Shooters Association, the International Practical Shooters Confederation, and is the lawyer representing the USPSA. This is John Sale from Ohio.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
John Sale finishes with a total time of 12.40 seconds. Next up is Michael Keith from San Diego, California.
Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Michael has some problems on those first two runs. Yesterday, his rear sight fell off his Benelli shotgun. Match rules allow for the replacement of a broken firearm if the replacement is of similar make and model. One of the other shooters lent him a shotgun to use so to allow Mike to finish the event. The camaraderie between competitors in the shooting sports is unmatched in other sports.
Stand by. Stand by.
Michael Keith comes back in the last three runs to finish with a respectable time of 15.73 seconds. Coming up next is Rick Castello. Let's see how he does with a shotgun.
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Rick Castello shows his proficiency with a shotgun rivals his mastery with a pistol by coming up with a time of 10.96 seconds. Now here's Stuart Wilson. Let's see how fast he is.
Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Wow, let's look at that run again in slow motion. 5 targets in 2.17 seconds. That is the fastest run so far. Now let's get back to live action with Stuart Wilson on his 4th run.
Stand by.
Stuart Wilson jumps into first place with a time of 10.25 seconds, but there are still plenty of hot shooters left. This next shooter is one of them. Here's Thorpe Nolan from San Diego, California. He is really a hose master. As long as he keeps the front sight on the target, he has a chance to win any tournament.
Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Thorpe Nolan comes through with a fantastic time of 10 seconds flat here in the Mossberg hide-and-seek stage and takes over first place for now. But coming up is J. Michael Plaxco, and if you know anything about shotgun shooting, you know this guy's one to watch.
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Now that is fast. Plaxco's 4 best runs with an average of 2.36 seconds. His total of 9.44 seconds gives him first place in this stage and the overall shotgun championships. Looking at the scoreboard for the Mossberg hide-and-seek event, following Plaxco is another San Diego shooter, John Rubin. Thorpe Nolan is 3rd, Stuart Wilson is 4th, and Donnie Miklick comes in 5th. Rick Castello placed 9th, John Sale 24th, and Michael Keith in 46th with a borrowed gun. Now this is the stage that typifies the Steel Challenge Championship, the Shooting Star Double Trouble event. This is pure speed and nothing but pure speed. In this stage, the contestant stands facing the targets and upon the start signal, draws and fires 1 shot on each target. The shooter must hit the bottom plate first and then the top plate, which is also the stop plate. Missing the stop plate altogether will result in a 15-second time for this stage. A 5-second penalty will be given for each premature start and for not hitting the bottom plate. This is our current overall leader, Chip McCormick, shooting the stage that his company sponsors, the Shooting Star Double Trouble event.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Chip McCormick keeps up his smooth shooting style with a 4.85 second total on this stage. Now here's one of the master blasters himself, Brian Enos.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Brian times in with a total of 4.97 seconds. Next up is Sancho Esubio.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Sancho blasts through with a fine total of 4.90 seconds. Coming up is probably the most relaxed shooter on the line in the shooting sports today. His name is Robbie Latham. One of the keys to be able to shoot the time that Rob does is a fast draw. I asked Rob what you should look for in speeding up your draw.
If the holster moves, it wasn't a good draw. If you're watching a draw, the gun should come out, and basically she'd close around. If this was the butt of the gun, she'd close around it and pop the gun out. You don't waste any time. You're not accomplishing a thing hitting the gun. All you need is the gun to go from in the holster to in your hand. And you make that transition as smooth and consistently as possible. And
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Latham comes through again with a very fast time of 4.61 seconds. Coming up next is a shooter who is the exact opposite of Rob Latham. He's all business when he steps up to the firing line. You can see the intensity in his face as he prepares himself to go to battle with the steel. Here's Jerry Barnhart.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Jerry finishes with the fastest run of the day. Let's look at that again in slow motion replay. 1.06 seconds from the ready position to hitting both plates. Now that's amazing. That gives him a total time of 4.31 seconds. This is more like the Jerry Barnhart who came from behind last year to win it all. Looking at the scoreboard for the Shooting Star Industries Double Trouble event, Jerry Barnhart takes first place, Robbie Latham second, Tony Ettensberger third, Jerry Barnhart's gunsmith Steve Nastoff shows he can shoot guns as well as build them with a fourth place finish, and Donnie Summers is fifth. Chip McCormick comes in eighth, Sancho Esubio 10th, and Brian Enos 13th. The 1988 Steel Challenge is coming to an end with a fitting stage, the Safariland Showdown event. Chip McCormick has a very healthy lead coming into this event, but he still must make it through without any disasters. There is also a very close battle for second place between Rob Latham and Rick Castello. It all comes down to a showdown at the Safariland Showdown stage. In this event, the shooter starts in either of the two shooting boxes facing the targets. At the start signal, the competitor will draw and place one shot on each target, hitting the stop plate last. This stage will be shot twice from one side and 3 times from the other. A 5-second penalty will be assessed for each missed target and premature start. Now, coming fresh off his victory in the last stage, here's Jerry Barnhart.
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Barnhart shoots a blazing stage with a time of 11.33 seconds. Now that should give him enough to stay in the top 16 and make the shoot-offs tomorrow, despite the problems he had at the early start of this match. Stepping up to the line next is Michael Voigt. Mike is from Dinuba, California, near Fresno. He has been shooting for 10 years and last year won the Area 2 3-state match.
Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Michael Voigt should repeat his top 10 performance of the last several years. With that time, it's 11.34 seconds. Coming up to the line now is Safariland's newest member, Brian Enos. Brian doesn't get the attention like he used to, but he still is one of the top shooters in the world.
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Brian shows to the shooting world that he is still a competitor to be reckoned with by completing the showdown stage with a time of 11.87 seconds. Coming up next is his shooting partner and compadre, Robbie Latham. Rob needs to shoot a total time of 12.06 seconds to overtake Rick Castello and be in second place.
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by.
Rob needs to shoot this last run in 3.44 seconds or less to overtake Castello. Latham does it by a margin of 0.7 of a second. He finishes the stage with a total time of 11.35 seconds. Now that shows when his back is up against the wall, you can always depend on Rob Latham to perform to his complete best. That puts him in first place for now, but coming up is Chip McCormick. All Chip has to do is shoot 14.37 seconds to overtake Rob Latham and win the Steel Challenge. That figures out to a 3.59 second average for the 4 runs that will count. Either way, we will have the first repeat champion in the 8-year history of the Steel Challenge, Rob Latham or Chip McCormick.
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. 5.
With that last run, Chip McCormick has won the 1988 Steel Challenge. He doesn't even need to take his 5th run. Chip lets it loose on that last run. That one was for the crowd. Chip McCormick has done what 6 world champions before him were unable to do. He is the first 2-time winner of the World Speed Shooting Championships, the 1988 Steel Challenge. He's got to be happy now.
And how do I feel? I learned from my first win that it takes about 3 or 4 days to really let it all sink in and realize how good it feels. The big secret, I just came out to have fun. I finally figured out how to whoop the pressure, you know, and that was the key. It seemed like the better I shot, the more fun I had, so the two go hand in hand.
Looking at the final results of the 1988 Steel Challenge, Chip McCormick is 1st, Robbie Latham 2nd, Rick Castello 3rd, 19-year-old Doug Koenig is 4th in his 1st Steel Challenge, and Brian Enos is 5th. On the women's side, 30-year-old Susan Cooper came from out of the pack to become the 1988 Women's Steel Challenge winner. In 2nd was Roberta Gear. 3rd place goes to last year's winner, Michelle Griggs. Tammy Madigan is 4th, and Julie Woolley 5th.